false prophet that's coming, Jesus Christ that's coming, is the rider of the pale horse. And what does it say about the rider of the pale horse? He brings hell and Hades with him. Death and hell are following him. And what that means, folks, is immediately with him, coming with him, is hell and death. And so what do we have in that's what in the physical scene, when you see Jesus Christ arriving, he's coming with his angelic hosts, these UFOs, these aliens that are going to be lighted up and look like angels. It's going to be a Halloween spectacular event. That's part of the hell and death that's coming with him. They're not angels, folks. They're hell and death. They're false angels. And when he comes, he's bringing them to earth with him. And that's literally probably our first real alien invasion that the Bible speaks of, because we also have one in Joel 2. We have one in Revelation 9 and 16. There's just 3 or 4 mentioned in the Bible of these alien invasions, these invasions from fallen angels. And I get emails all the time, well, these are good aliens, these are nice aliens. Folks, there's nothing good or nice about an alien, because if they're an alien, then they've been kicked out of heaven. Because there's only 2 types of terrestrial sources. There's Satan's terrestrial, and there's the Lord's celestial. And if they were a good and standing angel, as far as a good standing angel in the Lord, they'd be an angel. They wouldn't be an alien or terrestrial. They'd be an angel with the Lord, the Most High, in the heavens. And so there's 2 beings that we're going to be dealing with, and that's celestial beings and terrestrial. And these beings coming with this Jesus Christ in Maitreya are not celestial beings. They're terrestrials trying to be celestial beings. They have these anklets, some kind of jewelry that they wear, where they can turn on the glow around them. They're going to have this bright aura around them, a glow, and it's all manipulated. They've got some kind of jewelry, some kind of anklet. I see that in the codes all the time, in relation to glowing in their aura, because they're going to fake a lot of people out in that they look like angels from heaven. And you have to do is sit and watch these beings for a long time. I've always said, they try to portray like they're beings of light and they're here to help mankind. They have shorter tempers than anyone you'd know. All you have to do is aggravate them and get them a little bit mad, and they can't be nice for very long. It's not in their nature. It's not in their nature to be good. It's not or friendly or nice. They're evil beings. And so eventually that part of them is going to come out, because they can't play the charade too long about being these angelic hosts from heaven. They're just evil beings. That's their nature. And so it's not going to take them too long to show people for what they really are. But when people want to stick their heads in the sand, they bury it. And the same people that won't listen now, they're not going to listen later either. And I realize I'm talking to a very few handful of folks out there that are going to recognize everything that's coming for what it is. Because like I said, the sheer numbers are going to be overwhelming, folks, of how many fall for this charade and actually believe that Maitreya and Sananda are actually God and ascended masters and whatever charade they play. I have a feeling that they're going to change their game. They're going to change their game plan because they're too exposed. And so I'm ready for that. When they arrive, no matter what game they decide to play, I'll be here to see it and call it for what it is. May not have much time afterward, but we'll be here to call it for what it is, because like I've said, they're not counting on any one-way route to get to Earth, or for Satan to rise, take over this global government that they've been setting up and planning. And they're not counting on any one way. He's got this big octopus over the earth, and there's tentacles everywhere, and routes everywhere, and plans, and conspiracy theories, and just everything, different directions, different routes, secret society, the Vatican, the governments, the Illuminati. He's got different routes he can take. And so, until he literally sets his feet on the earth and we start seeing it, then we'll know exactly which route he's going to come in on. But it's just my job to keep you informed on what it looks like he'd be doing now. If he was going to arrive today, the route he would come in on, the route he would choose, up until the time he does. It's disheartening though when you're just constantly reminded that, hey, you know what? You're talking to the wall, because there's just so many millions that are going to fall for this Maitreya. Look how many Muslims right now are screaming for the arrival of their Mahdi. And they're getting ready to accept this Maitreya, clone of Cain, as the remaining Mahdi, their last Messiah that's coming, their last Muhammad, whatever it is, in the Christian crowd, waiting for the arrival of Jesus Christ. And of course they expect a rapture, and so there might just be a fake rapture before he arrives, so he can pull the whole charade off that he is his second coming. And like I said, you can Google Bluebeam Project at Google or Yahoo, and it'll tell you more information on exactly how they plan to arrive to Earth. And so it's interesting. Is it this November? I don't know. This November was a very strong code for it. It was a very strong arrival code for him. It will be the same as next year. He has a strong arrival code for every month, because what they want to do is catch us off guard. But if, one of the things they can't do is like Benny Hinn, he's still human, so he can only fly to Jerusalem. He can't jump on his UFO and be there in 2 seconds. And so they're going to have some kind of humans working with him on the ground to herald their arrival, because it's not going to be... one thing I've always seen in the Bible codes is not to believe everything you see on the TV that they're playing with the videos. Just like 9/11, you saw planes entering the buildings or whatever, where they fixed the video. They're going to do the same thing for the arrival of this Satan's general, this Jesus Christ, to Earth. It's going to be fixed and manipulated. And so what you see on TV isn't really what's going to happen over in Jerusalem. And so it'll be interesting. And with so many people with access to the internet and YouTube, I'm sure we'll have people out there putting up YouTubes of what's really happening as this whole charade comes in. So I don't know what that's what I was seeing in the Comet Holmes code before I lost all my information. And I'll have to get back to working on that, but I haven't. I've been working trying to get this second computer set up. And when I get finished and somewhat comfortable running this thing, I'm going to get my old one reformatted, and that will be a computer I'm going to use to run the radio show archives all day long. I'm going to set just one computer up, and I've wanted that for a long time. This is almost a blessing in disguise, just having a second computer to use as a radio server. Because it gets kind of rough running this stuff on your own computer all day long and trying to do other things on a computer. It takes up a lot of memory and stuff like that. So it's a blessing in disguise. I'll have a second computer back up just to use for nothing but radio shows. I'm going to run those all day long. Seem to get a different mixture of crowd in the afternoons and late at night, probably the other half of the world waking up in the morning and stuff. Just trying to hit various parts of the world. You never know when your best listening times are going to be. And so that's what I'm trying to figure out now with all this. Put up an ad on my websites, SherryTalkRadio and some of the others. People are asking me all the time about getting my shows on CD. And I was real hesitant about doing that for a long time because, just the whole thing about commercializing it and stuff like that, it's just was something I was staying away from. And these archives, you could probably put 2 or 3 on a CD, and I have almost 200 right now. And so I figured out a way to where I could put all of my archives, I got like 184 right now, on a flash